are back with another video. We about to get into some things. Before we get into anything though, like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Now, I don't know if some of y'all gonna be happy about this, but word on the street is that Doja Cat's label, RCA, thinks that a good female collaboration could get Doja Cat's name back out there. Her album is currently not doing well. Her album currently is down 14% on Paylify and out of the top 10 on the album 200 album chart. But Cardi B is still top 4 on the Billboard album 200 chart. Okay? Selling 50,000. Now, with that being said, Doja Cat's label think that working with Cardi B would kind of get her back out there because, you know, every few years they do a big female rap collaboration. That's what the industry will push for. You know, it was WAP. You had Barbie World and Princess Diana. We also had Put It in the Trash record with Scratch Off and what's her name, Cardi B. And then we also had the Ice Spice and Scratch Off collaboration that flopped, you know, but the industry does like when female rappers do these collaborations because it puts their name back out there. Like, nobody cared about Ice Spice and Scratch Off. People still don't really care. Y'all didn't support the record. And Doja Cat was supposed to do a record with D0JA. Okay. Allegedly that record got scrapped, but they still have the song in the stash. Hopefully D0JA will put it on her new album, but they think doing a record with Cardi B, that will help Doja Cat because y'all not supporting Doja. So let me know how y'all feel about it. I feel like it's not going to help Doja Cat's career. It's not. If this was 2021, 2022, that would have been a big record. You know, she should have jumped on Nicki Minaj's Cowgirl. That's what she should have done. I don't think that this is going to help Doja Cat because I just feel like the general public does not care about what Doja Cat has going on. They don't care. Okay, so it don't matter who she worked with. Didn't she do a collaboration with Ray and Lisa? Y'all didn't care about that record. But it definitely will chart. I definitely think the record would go top 20 at least. It's going top 20. Now, moving on from that, a lot of fans are speculating that D0JA and Doja Cat have a collaboration called Double D's because allegedly D0JA has registered a song featuring Doja Cat, okay? Now, this could be fake. I don't know if I fully believe this, okay? I feel like the title of the record sounds fake in my opinion. And I definitely don't believe Doja Cat or D0JA would have 6 writers on one song, okay? Even if it's a rap record. Also, they did a collaboration a while ago when D0JA opened up for Doja Cat's tour. That was in 2023. That record never came out. Allegedly, that record is scrapped. But, you know, I still would be here for a collaboration because I do think that they are talented. I don't know if people would care, though. I feel like D0JA, she still make noise, but Doja Cat is not hot no more. People don't care about Doja Cat like that. And there's really no shade. I think people are over Doja Cat and the antics. And I don't know what could really save her. She went back pop. Y'all don't care. She still gets dragged on social media. So I just don't think that neither one of them could really save each other's career. That's how I kind of feel. I feel like it just, at this point, it wouldn't make any sense. They should have released it in 2023 when there was hype around the collaboration. Now there might not be the hype. Okay, so let me know how y'all feel about it. And if you guys would be here for the Double D's collaboration allegedly coming out, which I don't know if I fully believe this registered song. Okay, so let me know how y'all feel about that. Now, moving on from that, Scratch Off and Ice Spice. Their collaboration definitely flopped, and I definitely don't believe that they're cool. Ever since their collaboration came out, we really haven't seen them together. They don't really kiki like that. I think this was strictly business. But, there could be a tour brewing, okay, with Ice Spice and Scratch Off. Okay, would you guys be here for it? Ice Spice and Scratch Off tour? They've done solo tours. Them coming together, that might sell out. Okay, I think that they would need more artists on the tour, though. I think that they should probably call up, like, JT. I don't know if Cardi B would be okay with that, but call up JT, maybe Mona Leo, Flo Milli, and have it like a female rap tour. That would kind of be dope. Would I go to see that? No, I'm only going to see Doja Cat and Nicki Minaj. Okay, I would go see Gorilla. I didn't go see her last tour, but she is the new princess of rap, so I would go see Gorilla. But that's about it. The rest of y'all can't really perform like that. Doja Cat, you can say she's flopping now, but she's a phenomenal performer. Now, moving on from that, it looks like Megan is taking another W in court. It has been reported that Tory's latest legal move have once again been denied in court, with his motion for protective order against Megan Thee Stallion shut down and case sent back to Florida. So basically, he tried to get some sort of restraining order on Megan, and it got denied. Here's my thing. Even though I understand why he did it, because Megan constantly throws shots at him in records, but she don't want him to respond. So I get what he was trying to do. Like, basically, any feature music she put out, any, interviews or documentaries that she does in the future, she won't be able to mention his name, even though that's a big part of her career. But the point of the matter is, the reason why he got denied is because he's in jail. What do you need a protective order from? You can't run from Devil Nation. You got stabbed in the face 8 times or 13 times. You can't run from Devil Nation. They're in cahoots with the court. Okay, so I don't know why he even, trying to fight Devil Nation, because it's going to be hard. I think my theory is they're trying to make Tory go broke. They trying to run up the coin. That's why they're having him for the case Megan has with Milagro. They've been subpoena a lot of different people, a lot of different bloggers, him included. And I think that is a strategic move, because they're trying to make sure he go broke. That's why they're doing this back and forth thing in court. Okay? But I'm not shocked that this basically got denied. Okay? What happened to his appeal? Did his appeal get denied too? What happened to Tory getting out of jail like they were saying earlier this year? I knew that wasn't going to happen. Now, moving on from that, a fan gets basically whacked by Victoria Monet for insinuating that Queen Bee was sabotaging Victoria Monet's career or putting voodoo on her career. A fan said, ever since Mama Tina did Victoria Monet's hair, why don't we see her anymore? Now, Victoria clapped back. Okay, you better not talk about the queen. She said, this narrative is so lame. I've seen a bunch, and firstly, please don't come from Mama Tina with played insinuations. Secondly, I'm making an album at an absolutely normal pace. Greatness requires time, so I'm not interested in sacrificing quality for imaginary timelines. God bless. Damn, okay? I like that classy response from Victoria Monet, and I think that she has every right to clap back. Here's the thing. People gotta stop blaming Queen Bee and even Camel Face, even though he's evil. People got to stop blaming Queen Bee and the Carters in general for people's careers not flourishing. Okay? Now, I definitely feel like Queen Bee probably has sabotaged a few artists, and a few artists have definitely came out and said that the Carters have sabotaged their careers. But Victoria Monet is not signed to Parkwood or Devil Nation. She's signed to RCA. I doubt Queen B really cares about VIÇT0IÄ Monet's career, or even thinking about VIÇT0IÄ Monet like that. And that's not shade. It's just that, she probably not thinking, oh my goodness, VIÇT0IÄ Monet, who hasn't even went top 10 or top 5. I don't know if Queen B really sees her as a threat. I think if VIÇT0IÄ Monet was actively copying her, like certain artists have, I'm not going to mention no names, but if VIÇT0IÄ Monet was actively copying Queen B, then I think that she definitely would sabotage her. But VIÇT0IÄ Monet doesn't do that. Okay, she's been in the game for a while. I think VIÇT0IÄ Monet is one of those artists that like to take time and write and put in the work for their music. Not every artist wants to use AI or make TikTok records. Okay, VIÇT0IÄ Monet is a very talented individual. I feel like the only way Queen B would sabotage VIÇT0IÄ Monet is if, she felt like this person is trying to take my spot or trying to copy me, like certain artists have. Okay, I'm not going to say anybody's name, but Walmart Yonsei got to come to the front of the congregation. So I don't think she's worried about VIÇT0IÄ Monet, because VIÇT0IÄ Monet hasn't been hot since On My Mama. On My Mama came out how many years ago? She hasn't had a hit since. Now, moving on from that, a lot of fans are not happy with SZA posting JT. Okay, so the Cardi B fans have been calling SZA out because SZA first declined to work with Cardi B on her album, Am I Delusional? And now she posting JT, even though I feel like SZA, she just tries to be neutral. That's what it gives. I feel like SZA, she just want to be friends with everybody. But a person that is friends with everybody is a friend to nobody, in my opinion. But she posted JT, and a Cardi B fan said, Barney Gang, I like SZA, but her promoting JT tells me a lot. So next time Pink Hair Lady, aka Nicki Minaj, drags her, just let it rock. Okay? Now, here's my thing. First of all, like I said before, SZA tries to be neutral and tries to be friends with everybody. I do think that she could be fake at times, but Cardi B does not own SZA. Okay? Like, she doesn't owe Cardi B any loyalty. Cardi B is not even loyal. Didn't we just see what happened with her and Scratch Off? How she was quick to drag Scratch Off. Okay, because she was upset at Ice Spice. Okay, she's not even loyal in her marriage. Okay, she is pregnant and also still married. Okay, and to be quite honest, and it's just my opinion, I think she was messing with Stephon Diddy while she was with Off the Cheat. And that's just my opinion on it. I don't believe that, she just started talking to him when they separated. I think she definitely started messing with Stephon Diddy while she was still with Off the Cheat. And that's why she got knocked up so quickly. Okay? Ain't nobody getting knocked up after being pregnant last year and married still. Like, nobody's doing that unless that man was there while you were married and in a relationship with somebody else. Okay? You still in the marriage. So, that's my whole thing. Cardi B's not loyal. She's fake. So, nobody owes Cardi B any loyalty. She didn't betray Cardi B. Y'all got to stop with this narrative that if other artists that work with Cardi B in the past show love to another artist that Cardi B don't like, is betrayal. Y'all don't do that with Nicki Minaj. Y'all say it's just business, right? Now, moving on to Tyler, the Creator. He will be receiving 150,000 lashings. Now, I've never been a fan. Okay, don't really like his style of music. But he has been caught and exposed for deleting anti-black tweets while people post and screenshot them. One tweet is from 2011 saying some black chick works here, affirmative N-word. Then he said, and black people are currently mad, right? now, but in 2 weeks, we'll be over it because they really don't care. Cool hashtag though, right? Okay, so I think that was in regards to the BLM movement. There's another tweet that said, blank words, wetback, come on, nigga, let's effing vote. Okay, for video of the year in 2011 for the Video Music Awards. Here's my thing. Tyler, the bottom feeder, always has been a coon to me. He comes off like a Tiger Woods-esque type of guy, just gives coonery. So I never really been into him musically or as a person. Thank goodness I never supported any of his music and never will. And the only reason why he's blown up so much now is because he's taken DCIK in the booty hole from certain executives, allegedly. So, I don't even really feel like his career is organic. I feel like he's an overhyped artist. So, to me, he has some talent, but not much. I think if you take away a lot of the antics and a lot of the weird things that he does to cause controversy, he really wouldn't have a career. Let's just be honest. Is like 60% controversy, 70% controversy, and then 30% really about the music. Like, he just dropped an album. He didn't have one hit on the album. Not one. It's like, to me, he comes off as a person that thrives off of controversy, and that overshadows the music a lot of times, in my opinion. But let me know how y'all feel about these interesting tweets. Now, moving on from the coonery, a little bit more coonery, Wackademics decides to stick up for Champagne Thickums because Champagne Thickums reference track leaked. Again, another reference track leaked of a writer named Beam, who Kung Fu Kenny mentioned in Euphoria. A reference track for the song Trump Towers, I guess that's a song featuring Central C, has leaked onto the internet, okay? Which I feel like was probably orchestrated by Universal. But the point of the matter is, though, Wackademics now is trying to stick up for Champagne Thickums. He said, y'all realize that no artist done lasted 10 plus years writing every single chorus and verse. Whoop-de-doo. Fans gotta get realistic. Every artist who made hits over 10 plus years have utilized some help at some point. Yes, that includes Kendrick, Future, and Champagne Thickums. Get mad, okay? Now, here's the thing. I don't fully believe that. I think if Kendrick Lamar or Nicki Minaj had reference tracks, they would have been leaked. Because those are the two most and biggest rappers in the world that pride themselves on writing. So nobody would spare them. If they had a reference track of, them not really writing their own bars, those would have been leaked. Okay? And in regards to Future, same thing. Future writes for other artists. He's written for Rihanna and Queen Bee. So I feel like nobody is sparing any major big artists and, hiding any reference tracks. Those shits would have been leaked. Especially all the shit Nicki and Kendrick talking records about people not writing their raps. I know, especially when it comes to Nicki Minaj, Camel Face would have leaked those shits years ago. Okay? Especially when it comes to Nicki. Because Nicki clowns Cardi and other female rappers all the time for not writing. Same thing with Kendrick Lamar. So they're not getting spared. Please. But anyway, I got some very hot tea on Nicki Minaj, Sydney Sweeney. We got tea on D'Angelo, link in description on Patreon, and I hope you have a great day.